Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you will receive alerts when there are new episodes. Go get it.
That's what I tell them. I've been grinding for so long, I wake up and chase my goals. I go out and I go get it. How to code, that's all I know. I don't succeed, then I don't breathe. Success, what does it mean? If I conquer all my goals, then I'm living out my dream. Dig deep, go out and get it. Success Chronicles. Compete until it's finished. Success Chronicles. Go take care of your business. Success Chronicles. It's deeper than just winning. Success.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chip Baker coming to you with a topic session. So excited to have Miss Amber Trout on with us. And today we're going to be touching on relationship building in this AI world. So first, before we dive into it, Amber, I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to be on and discuss some things that are in your wheelhouse and what you do on a day-to-day basis. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me back. And of course, I love a relationship topic because it's what I thrive in.
That's awesome. Well, before we dive into it, just tell the audience a little bit about who you are, so they have an idea of who you are, what you do, and kind of like your background, so they have an idea that this is your field.
Yeah, definitely. So my name is Amber Trout. I live in the Tampa, Florida area, but I was a former educator for 11 years prior, which I think really sharpens your relationship building skills as an educator. I moved into the educational technology space and I work for a company that does educational technology services for different schools and districts. But I also in my free time, I get to be able to also work with transitioning educators that are looking to move into this space or be able to have a wider impact. I do a lot of career coaching. I do a lot of professional life coaching, and I'm certified life coach as well. So I spend a lot of time working with educators, working with people that are looking to transition, as well as working with educators, as I was a former educator myself in the tech space.
So good, so good. Well, first thing I want to, just kind of hit you with is, since we're talking about relationships, why is it important to have quality relationships?
Yeah, but I was gonna ask you a question, Chip, is
Uh-oh.
how do you define quality relationships? What is it that how do you define quality relationships? I would love to know, and I'll tell you mine
Man,
too.
man, that's good. That's awesome. Uh, I didn't know I was going to be interviewed too.
I think there's a
uh,
lot of interpretations of quality
yeah,
relationships and like what you
yeah,
find. And I think definitely between personal and professional, there's different
yep,
ones, but I would love to
yep,
hear your
yep,
perspective on what's a quality relationship. And then, of course, I will share mine as well. But I just thought, we should start there.
yeah. So when I hear the word quality relationships, I look at the word breakdown. So when I hear the word quality, I think about something that's of substance, something that means something, right? It's not a surface level anything, it has substance to it, right? And then when I hear the word relationship, I think of mutualistic, right? So, beneficial for both parties. So, I guess the complete definition for me would be, a mutualistic, something that is beneficial for both parties, right? And it has substance. So I think that's what quality relationships are for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we are in line with our definition of that because I do think that it needs to be a mutually beneficial
Hmm.
relationship. Like you're getting something from them, they're getting something from you, and that's how you would consider that's quality because you might be learning from one person, they might be learning from you or
Yeah.
taking in skills or ideas that maybe they hadn't thought of. But in this relationship, it's now growing you in your professional or personal life. So I would consider that quality as well. So thank you for sharing.
Yeah, for sure. You said two words in there that stuck out to me. You said learning and growing.
Mhm,
And I think in anything we do, it's important to learn and grow. In anything, relationships, career,
mhm.
or whatever it is, it's important to have a growth mindset, to be open and willing to learn and grow.
Absolutely. I think more than anything, there's a lot of people that spend a lot of time maybe just staying stuck in what they know, but not
Mhm.
really realizing that somebody else, even though they may be in your eyes, somebody that doesn't have as much knowledge as you, or
Yeah,
maybe doesn't work in the same field as you, and you're like, what can I learn from them? I mean, I hear this all the time and I see it happen a lot of times, and it's the fact that there's always something to be learned. There's always something you can grow from, no matter
yeah,
where they're from, whatever they're doing, because
no
I think
doubt.
everyone has a unique skill set and it's something that anyone can learn from. So I think that that's right. Growth mindset in all aspects with everyone.
I think too, before we hit the relationships piece
Hmm.
again, like as you were saying that, that made me think about the differences that we have in our world, right?
Yes.
So I mean, you look at ethnic, male,
Hmm.
female, relationship, place, origin of where you're from, where you were
Yeah,
raised. We have different backgrounds, and I think that there's beauty in our differences, right?
absolutely.
I think
Hmm.
that when we can have those quality relationships and be in situations that are different from what we're accustomed to, oh man, it allows us to have maximum growth and learning in our life.
Absolutely. And I think that that also comes into you can become a more well-rounded individual when you have these kinds of things in your life. When you open up yourself to being able to learn about different ethnic backgrounds, where people have come from, what they learned in their, growing up in a different country or whatever it
Yeah,
may be. I think there's a lot of different opportunities to be more well-rounded, to have more
yeah,
context and to be able to
yeah.
be more empathetic with people.
You took the word. I was waiting for you to finish. I, I was gonna say, man, I think it gives you more empathy too because you're more
Yeah.
understanding of the differences. And that's one thing that I'm grateful for. And for where I was raised, it was people of all backgrounds, all races, all ethnicities,
Hmm.
and I can truly say that that's really helped me in my life because
Hmm.
in any situation I'm in, I'm not uncomfortable because I
Right.
know that like, oh no, I've been around this before. I don't have to feel
Hmm.
like guarded and like looking out, like no, I'm good, we're good. I think that
Exactly.
yeah,
Hmm. I think that that was also with my parents, that when they raised me, it was very much like, everybody is the same. Everyone's got their own things going
yeah,
on. Everybody should be able to be given the same opportunity and chance to get to know them and be
mm,
able to, prove themselves to you in that manner. So I think that that's a lot of things that I was raised with and the things that you can have ingrained in you. But growing up as an adult and making those decisions to open your mind to other things, perspectives, people, and backgrounds gives you a whole lot more empathy, but also
yeah.
relationship building skills.
That's so good. Well, why is how are relationships beneficial in this AI world? With what you
Yeah.
do, you're around technology, you've mentor, you collab with
Mhm.
lots of different people from all over. How has that been beneficial for you in your world?
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I use Google Gemini AI tools like more times than I can count. And they are so great because there's so much you can do and there's so much you can build out with these tools. But when it comes down to the fact that you are needing to now build a personal relationship with someone, whether it's somebody that you're wanting to, let's say, purchase a tool from you or be able to create something, it's always comes down to that personal element. People don't work with people they don't like. People don't work with the like things that they're not interested in or people that they're not having some kind of connection to. And I feel like that's a huge part of what I do is that in my space and in my career, in order for you to feel like this is something that you want to use and it's valuable, you have to have somebody that's teaching you that or an actual person who has real life scenarios that they can say, hey, I can help you with this. I can tailor it to you and I can make it so that you understand that this is a valuable thing and this relationship is built. There is huge clients and customers and people that you might work with in your, life and professional, personal, and it always comes down to do they want to engage with you and do they want to build a relationship with you in order to see that they want what you're trying to sell, whether it's personal or professional. So I think there's still this element of people wanting human to human connection in order for you to even have that ability to to showcase the tools that you have. Like I know in a lot of things that I do, I'm like, if you're not going to talk to me like a normal person and get to know who I am and just sell me something, come in and be like, here, here, here. I'm like, I'm not interested. Like, I
Yeah.
need to be able to have that relationship feeling. And I think that that comes down to that human connection. There's so much technology out there. Is it helpful? Yes. Is it useful? 100%. But is it going to make you want to continue using that tool from here on out because you have a connection with it? Probably not. You're going to find the newest, latest, coolest thing, you know? But I'm hoping
Yeah.
that the way that you make someone feel is going to live on to want to continue that relationship with them.
That's so good. I think a lot of what you said, I think it's deep for me because, like we've all heard, they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care, those kind of
Hmm.
things. And you can read between the lines and people read BS. I mean, I'm just
Hmm.
just
Hmm.
it
Yep.
is what it is, right?
Yep.
Uh but so it's crazy with all of the technology and stuff. It made me think about uh like being a coach, and just along my journey there was so many different technology things that came up, how to input the data and all of that stuff. But I mean, it still had to be someone to put it in there or set it up to video and all of those things. So I think you can't lose the human component, but I think you also should use the technology. I don't know if use is the word, but use the technology to be beneficial for you to move efficiently and effectively.
Right. And I was also thinking about the fact that when you have technology, like you can input things in there and that's going to get you more efficient results. But I also feel like when you have that human connection, it's more of that listening element. Like you can't have this technology listen and be able
Yeah.
to hear what you're saying and follow up with that. I feel like that's one of my superpowers, I would consider it, as when I do these kind of relationship building or when I meet people, is that I listen to like specific facts about their life. Like they might tell me like, oh, my son's going to Penn State in the fall. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. And then the next time I see them or interact with them, I'm like, hey, how's your son from Penn State? And my colleagues and my friends always tell me that they're like, you just know like personal information about people. And it's like, because I'm listening and I'm
Yeah.
relaying the message and I'm like interested in your life. I want to know, like, let me know more about it. And so I think
Yeah.
that that's also a part of relationship building and human connection that can never be solved by AI or technology, is that you can follow up and ask questions and engage with their life as a person.
Yeah, it's good too. Like as I heard you say
Mhm.
that, I think when you come from a good-hearted place with good intentions, um, it's not an act to do those things, right?
Right.
Like you
Hmm.
said, like when I asked about your son from Penn State, like no, I really mean that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not just
Yeah.
saying, hey, I'm gonna remember that her son went to Penn State so that I can get
Hmm.
a contract. I'm like, no, no,
Yeah.
like no, I really mean like, how's your son doing? I really mean
Yeah.
that.
That's exactly. It's not, I'm not here for anything. It's so funny because I always say that like the position I'm in is in a marketing role and I go out
Hmm.
there and I work with different customers, but I
Yeah.
genuinely build connections with them in an actual way. And every time they ask me about like sales things or like, well, how much is this or how much this or how do we integrate? I said, I have no idea. I'm not a sales lady. I don't get involved in the sales side of things because I'm not selling you anything. I'm literally here to just get to know you. And if you like me and you think I'm cool and we want to work together, let's do it.
Hey, which in essence, you get lots of sales because of that.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know anything about the sales side. Don't
Man,
even ask me.
that's awesome, man. I love it. Well, what are some of the new trends that you have seen that have helped with connecting and building relationships?
Yeah, I actually think that there is some tech tools that I think have been really helpful since the pandemic and beyond that have really built connections with people. And I find that there is some Slack communities that people have like built out to be able to group people together from all across the nation and in the world for that matter. And the only reason I know this is because I was involved in it. During the pandemic in 2020, we literally had no place to, get together and be able to like have this shared like aspect of like education and other things that we were doing. And so there was this group on Twitter that ended up kind of like bringing this little Slack community together, people all over the world that were educators that were passionate about sharing technology, about being able to help educators during this time to flip their classrooms with technology and remote learning. And it was this really great little space where we were all genuinely people who were just looking to help and have resources. And a Slack community was something where we were all able to engage with each other in all different hours of the day because we were all from all over the world. And I think those people I still have connections with and I still talk to till this day. And it
Yeah.
was something that I didn't know that I was going to be involved in or that I needed in my life. But I think that is some aspect of being able to connect with people that you wouldn't have ever met otherwise.
And explain that to them what a Slack community is.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Slack community is more of like an instant messaging kind of platform, but it has
Hmm.
channels and groups where you can put people together in different kinds of specific ways. I use it for my current program that I run at my work, where it's a coaching community and we build out advocacy and advocates. And I wanted one space where they could all go together, ask questions, be able to talk about frustrations that they had with things that they needed, resources they could gather, and it was a place where everyone could kind of collaborate. So it's more of like kind of a instant messaging channel workspace where people can come in, post questions, be able to talk with one another and engage in conversation.
Go get it.